Types of changes. There are two types of changes. There's physical changes and chemical changes. With a physical change, the substance might seem different, but the way that the atoms link up is still the same. So for example, if something changes shape, if something dissolves, or if something changes phase, it's still the same substance. So for example, if you were to cut a piece of paper with scissors, it's still paper. Like the atomic structure of that paper is still the same. If you were to dissolve sugar or salt within water, it may dissolve, but it's still within the water. And so it's like the water molecule and the sugar molecule are still separate. Changes in phase. So if you're boiling water and then some of that water turns into steam, so that gas, if you were to trap that steam and you were to look at it, that atomic structure of the steam is still the same as what it was when it was in the water state. Same thing if it were to change to ice, it would still be H2O. With a chemical change, this changes the way that the molecules link up and it creates a brand new substance. It's a chemical change if it burns, if its temperature changes without heating or cooling, if it makes a gas, so there's a formation of bubbles, if it changes color, not necessarily Kool-Aid and water, but say for example, it's clear and then all of a sudden it turns yellow. And then the last one there is it forms a precipitate, meaning a solid within a liquid. So say you had two liquids, you combine them together and then all of a sudden a solid formed. That would be an example of chemical change. Now let's go through some examples. Is this a physical or a chemical change? If you guessed physical, then you are correct. Baking cookies, physical or chemical? Chemical change. An ice cube melting? A physical change. How about rust that forms on metal? Chemical change. Burning paper? Also a chemical change. Mentos and Coke would be an example of a chemical change. Paper being crumbled or paper being transformed into super awesome origami, it would be a physical change. How about hair dye? That would be a chemical change. There is an extra practice worksheet found on our course website. Make sure you download it, go through the examples, and determine whether or not each example is a physical or a chemical change, and we'll take this up in class tomorrow.